Delta class, these are the words I would say to you. You are loved. You will be missed. Please keep in touch with us. We love hearing about what you're doing. Come back and visit us every once in a while. That's always fun. Study diligently for the NCLEX. Pass it on your first try. Find the job that the Lord has picked out for you and use your skills to help and to serve those that He places in your path. It has been a blessing for all of us to teach you, to get to know you, to push you outside your comfort zone, and to watch you grow. So thank you, Delta class, and congratulations.
Well, well, we're here. Finally made it. Congratulations. I'm Kathleen Sheehan. I am probably, you've heard my name spoken in maybe not very nice terms because I'm one of the skills lab instructors, and we stare at them with our little black glasses as they do their checkoffs and make them very nervous, but they are loved. Cindy is absolutely correct. I'm here to serve as mistress of ceremonies and kind of keep things moving along today, but I echo her words. You will be missed, and once you leave home, you don't call, you don't write, you don't check in with us. Please do. I've been teaching for a long time, and I still have students that give me a text or a call 10 years later. So we do want to know what you're up to. We want to know how you're doing and how life is treating you. And we're here for advice as well and mentorship. That never stops when you leave us. So thank you all, families, for coming. And we are so grateful that you chose, as students and as families, you chose to come to Concordia and Arbor. We think it's a really special place. I love teaching here. I thank Cindy and the staff and faculty for hiring me, for making that decision a couple years ago, because this is my home until they wheel me out in a wheelchair. I will be here at Concordia University teaching students. So first up, I'd like to introduce Sarah Allen. She's one of our students that's going to give a speech today. So welcome, Sarah.
Going after the Dean of Nursing, okay. First, just wow. We've definitely come a long way from our orientation day. I remember driving home from orientation thinking, what in the world was I thinking? And I remember my first day of nursing school. I had stayed the night at my grandparents' house. I had stayed the night at my grandparents' house the night before because grandparents make everything better. And I remember waking up early and taking off the tags off my new red and black Cherokee scrubs. Looking in the mirror, my first thought was, wow, I look really bad in red. And the second one was, well, here goes nothing. My first class was Foundational Skills 1 with Kathy and Kathleen, and I left thinking, you know what, Sarah, you survived your first day of nursing school. And you guys, we've survived every single day of nursing school since. Do you guys ever stop to think about what that really means? We've completed 34 exams, adding an extra 4 if you took advanced perfusion this past semester, 12 checkoffs, over 600 clinical hours, and 250 simulation hours. For family and friends joining us today, let me put that into a little perspective for you. To pass a class, we need a 79% average in the class and a 73% exam average to pass the class. If we have an 81% in the class and a 70% exam average, you fail. For our skills checkoffs and medication calculation tests, we have to achieve a 90%. If we go below a 90%, we have one more chance to take that checkoff test or test again. If we do not pass the second time, we fail the course. And if we fail 2 courses, we're excused from the program. So if we seemed a little stressed out over the past few years, sorry. What I love about our cohort, the Delta class, is that everyone has a unique story, has faced unique challenges during this crazy ride, and everyone has been so accepting and motivating of one another during it all. We have people here that started school and were accepted into the nursing program right out of high school, and we have people here in their 30s who decided to pursue nursing as their second degree. We have people born and raised here in Ann Arbor, and we have people that were born and raised on the other side of the world. There have been students in our cohort that have had to deal with the deaths of family and friends, hospitalizations, and illness and injury. We have students that are veterans. We have 8 students that are parents, including one that had a baby 1 week and the next week was back in class. And once again, I really do believe that it was the fact that we are all so diverse in our backgrounds and circumstances that really bonded us together. I hope that we all continue to accept people for who they are, acknowledge what they're going through, and meet them where they're at, both in our professional and private lives. All of us have survived the worst days of our lives so far. We have also all survived a failed exam, a rough checkoff, a simulation where we had absolutely no idea what was going on, and just a tough day scattered in between. So as we all move forward, when we have another worst days of our lives so far, I hope we look back on our experiences here and think, you know what, I did that, and I can do this too. I also hope that each and every one of you have taken away lessons and skills that are completely unrelated to pathophysiology, pharmacology, and assessment. I, for one, have taken away a greater sense of confidence in myself, a much stronger critical thinking skills, as well as an appreciation for my health and an appreciation that we live in a country where we have access to health care. When we become nurses, may we only nurse our patients, but continue to nurse our minds, bodies, and spirits. Thank you to our family and friends that have been with us on this journey. I personally want to thank my family for their constant love and support, my non-nursing school friends for understanding when I've had to cancel or reschedule plans, my fiance's family, and my fiance, John, for knowing when to tell me to quit whining and get studying, and also for telling me, hey, I made some chocolate chip cookies, bought a pizza, and rented a Redbox movie for us to watch. I also want to thank our instructors, Dr. Elizabeth Peckham for teaching us the scientific foundations to our art, Kathy and Kathleen for teaching us all of our skills and for making us dig deep with our critical thinking skills, Dr. Margaret McLaughlin for always having a smile and a kind word, Dr. Renee Clemens for always stopping by the simulation rooms while students were studying to check in, Dr. Mihaela Zegrian for tolerating the seemingly constant line outside her door to ask her questions about exam material, sometimes on the day of the exam, to Natalie Fluent and Judy Wismont for teaching us a semester's worth of material in a few short weeks, to Betsy Cambridge, Anita Simmons, and Joe Yasek for always finding good things to say to us, even when a simulation was not going well, and for the tough love afterward, to all of our clinical instructors, to Angela Ross for all of her help with scheduling all of our classes every semester, to Jim Birdsell for making sure that we were compliant for our requirements for clinical, for Lita Tweedle for making sure everything ran smoothly in the background, and to Ben Oliver for helping us with IT questions that sometimes probably made him think to himself, these people are training to be nurses, but they can't even figure out how to not get viruses on their computer. And finally, to Dr. Cynthia Fensky for not only being our leader and instructor, but also a friend, mentor, and inspiration to us all. Also a huge shout out to all the supportive staff that kept the building clean and running. Without you, there would be no North Building, and there would be no nursing program. And finally, to the Delta class. I personally want to thank all of you for your friendship over the past few years. We've laughed together, cried together, motivated each other to pursue doctorates of nursing, and convinced one another not to drop out probably once or twice. I've studied with some of you at 5:30 in the morning at a Starbucks and traveled halfway around the world and back with some of you. I would not be standing here and graduating tomorrow without the help of each and every one of you, and for that I'm eternally grateful. I won't miss all parts of nursing school, but I will miss all of you. I love you all, and I can't wait to join this crazy world of healthcare with all of you nurses by my side. Congratulations, everyone.
Sarah, I don't think I've ever heard you talk that fast. You're full of questions. Sarah has a very unique ability for self-reflection, and this isn't, I'm not joking about this. She's come to me on several occasions, and she really wants to kind of dig in and figure out how she can do better, and I so appreciate that about her. Next up is going to be Betsy. Betsy Cambridge is going to come up and talk to us about nursing excellence recognition.
So at Concordia, we seek to create service-oriented nurses. And so doing that, we created a program called the Nurse Excellence Program, where we reward students for their hours of serving others. Each semester, students are rewarded for their hours of service. There are 3 levels of awards that students can earn, starting with a minimum of 10 hours up to 20-plus hours during the semester. It's my pleasure today to recognize the students who have received the platinum, the highest honors in all 6 semesters of nursing school. These students will be receiving their promised gift for dedication today. So help me welcome Deanne Grim, Stanley Stinson, and Kimberly Thompson.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mahela Zegrian. I'm a nursing professor at Concordia University. I teach the tough courses, the ones that lead to anxiety, panic attacks, sweat, and hopefully not blood. But it's my absolute pleasure this morning to recognize once again those students who made it into Sigma Theta Tau International, also known as Honor Society of Nursing. This global community has been in existence since 1922. It has chapters all over the world, and it works very hard to ensure the health of the world's population. The students whose names I will call out are those who are able to achieve the rigorous high standards of academic achievements, academic integrity, and leadership potential. So I will individually call your name. Please stand up when you hear your name. Sarah Allen. Katelyn Betcha. Megan Carr. Catrina Cortes. Elif Ernst. Mackenzie Gilmer. Deanne Grim. Taron Haynonen. Rebecca Ivankovics. Megan Martin. Robert Reel. Ilona Rosina. Susan Silla Key. Hattie Thomas. Kimberly Thompson. Thomas Thompson. Astu Traor. Shalyn Williams. Congratulations on achieving this high honor. I know you're going to make us proud. Congratulations, graduates.
Okey-doke. All right, so the next speaker that I'm going to introduce is Kimberly Thompson.
Matthew 19:26 says, "With God all things are possible, and by the grace of God we made it." Today seemed unimaginable years ago, but we are here. We survived. We truly had no idea what this stressful, wonderful journey would have in store for us. Members of our cohort birthed and raised children, held jobs, played collegiate sports, battled illness and injury, endured significant loss, and got married while in nursing school. All these things are challenges on their own, but we conquered them all together. We made it through all the Googling, the readings, the shadow health assignments that seemed never ending, finding evidence-based articles, endured painfully early mornings to make our ways to clinical sites. We made it through the failing, crying, laughing, and the self-diagnosing. These all made us masters of running mental marathons. We are kings and queens of endurance and ready to face our next challenges. Let me go back. All these challenges were not overcome overnight. Many of us were terrified of our first checkoff, vital signs. This include a manual blood pressure measurement, and I remember Dean and I practiced the control of the blood pressure dial so many times that we resorted to putting the cuff on our legs. which seems ridiculous now because this skill is second nature to us. Joe always told us FAIL stands for first attempt in learning. We learned some lessons the hard way, like making sure everyone is actually clear during a code and not to shock your team members, or failing to chart on a patient in simulation and being handed a subpoena for your court hearing. We will never forget to check our team before shocking our patients, and we will always chart like we are reading our notes in front of a judge. I remember getting so excited to receive my own stethoscope and set of scrubs. We were overcome with immense joy that we looked the part of the role we knew we were going to play since we were little. We always remember the moments when we thought we will also remember the moments that we thought we were going to burst from anxiety and that there was no way we could handle one more assignment. That's where our amazing supporters come in. I don't think any of us could have done this without the endless support from our professors, parents, friends, animals, and each other. Thank you for being patient with us for the last 3.5 years. We won't have the famous, I have to study line for refusing plans anymore. My journey to nursing in Concordia was a God thing. I cannot imagine learning how to help heal others without having Christ in the center of it all. Praying before exams definitely was helpful. We were taught to sterilely insert a Foley catheter and start an IV, but we also took time in the classroom to learn to care for and love our patients' hearts and souls with the same compassion God gives us. Even the non-compliant screaming mannequins in simulation got the same compassionate nursing treatment. All of us were called to hold our patients' hands, offer prayer, and be the light in our patients' day. We are family. We learned how to work well with strangers, turn them into study buddies, and we can call them now friends for life. We laughed and cried with one another in defeat and in victory, even if that victory was just a 73% on Dr. Z's med-surg exam. I remember sitting at my pod table in the middle of a full day of lectures, and someone said, "I think I'm going to die." Someone else said, "You can't die today, we have clinical tomorrow." We chose our class name in the first semester of the nursing program. The wonderful Sarah Allen suggested that we be called the Delta class. Delta is a sign for a triangle, 3 sides and 3 corners. This is fitting being the 3rd class to go through this program. In some academic arenas, a triangle means change. We are the nurses that ignite change. We came to make a difference and impact the lives of many. I'm so excited to hear where we end up working and share the stories of our first saves, first deliveries, and first victories in the field. It will feel just as good and special as the day we got our first stethoscope and set of scrubs. Our instructors told us 100 times or more, if you don't document it, you didn't do it. This degree was given, not earned. Delta class of 2019, we did it. So document today and relish in the moment, because today we can reflect on the long road that brought us here, and tomorrow we will be the nurses we always dreamed of. Congratulations, go be the change.
One of the things that I wanted to talk a little bit about before we do the awards that we give out for next are our nursing school was created on 4 pillars, and those 4 pillars are compassion, service, integrity, and excellence. If you toured the nursing school at all, you will see that those 4 letters or those 4 words are up on the wall. We visit those frequently. Compassion is important to nursing because as nurses, we are compassionate and we enter into suffering with our patients and families. Service is important because God calls us to serve, and as nurses, we often are in positions to serve our patients. Integrity is what you do when somebody's not looking, and you'll be challenged with that as nurses because you get busy. There are many, many tasks you have to do, many things you have to do, and sometimes you have to stop yourself and say, integrity says, I'm going to do the right thing, even if somebody's not looking. and excellence, which is one of my favorite words. It's not about perfection. There's no perfect person here. It's about striving for excellence. So these are the pillars of our school. This is what the school was founded on, and we give out awards based on these, on our 4 words, on our pillars. So I was blessed with being the first one. I'm already waving the white flag here. I've got the tissues. I have the tissues underneath here if I need them. But the first award that we're going to give out today is for compassion. And I've been charged with giving this award. The student that I'm going to give this award to is one that displayed an uncommon propensity for compassion. There are many definitions for the word, but there were many common threads. As I researched the word, there was a common thread that went through the definitions. Compassion motivates people to help. People act out of a sense of compassion. And a truly compassionate person must be an active participant. When I think of a compassionate nurse, I think about someone at the bedside that is focused on counseling and comforting a patient or family that is suffering or maybe having a difficult time making a life decision. When thinking about the student that will receive this award, that image came to mind. And as I pondered this student, another image came to mind. A compassionate student that is intent on displaying compassion through administrative change. As I said, we can show compassion in many ways. We join in the suffering as families and patients make difficult decisions. The nurse that possesses compassion leans into those conversations. They don't shy away from them. We join organizations that lobby for better patient outcomes like the ANA. That's a compassionate thing to do for our patients. We help change policy on a state and a federal level. And we become leaders in our workplace. We help to shape policy and procedure that require organizations to deliver better care. So compassion isn't just that one-to-one interaction. And this last one is what came to mind when I was thinking about this particular student. The trait of compassion is particularly important when nurses are caring for the most vulnerable populations, such as the elderly. Concordia allowed me to take a group of students for an immersive clinical experience. We spent, and all of you who went remember, we spent 9 very intense days working as a team in an extended care facility. Because of this privilege, I had the opportunity to closely observe each one of you. I watched all of you grow and be challenged. But the best part is I was able to see your unique nursing gifts begin to emerge. I personally witnessed the student that's going to be receiving this award not only exercise compassion at the bedside, but listen as they began to formulate plans to actively find solutions for better patient care in this setting. At the end of each day, during our clinical rotation, we would meet as a group and debrief. I watched and listened as the administrative wheels began to turn and ideas for improving patient care began to flow. What I heard was a student that deeply cared about the well-being of the elderly population and the desire to make improvements in this care setting. So compassion is not simply expressed during the one-to-one interaction with a patient. It is also expressed on the administrative and leadership level. Through the clinical experience with this student, the student began to act. The student was motivated to help, wanted to be an active participant, and was moved to act through a sense of compassion, specifically for the elderly population. I'm proud to give this award to Tommy Thompson.
The award I'm giving today is for a student who exemplifies service. Service is one of our program's cornerstone virtues. It is defined simply as the act of doing something for someone else without the expectation of being rewarded. Let us consider a Bible verse from 1 Peter as we think about what it means to serve others. From 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in various forms. The very nature and art of the nursing profession implies caring for and meeting the needs of others. As we have told these students many times, nurses meet people in the midst of some of the toughest challenges of their lives. An average nurse will provide care for the patient based solely on the provider orders for that patient. A service-oriented nurse will seek ways to serve the patient in individualized care based on knowing the patient's story, taking into account the challenges and desires of that patient. Concordia nurses are service-oriented nurses. Because service is so important to us at Concordia, we have a program, as I spoke earlier, designed to reward students for their service both on campus and outside of campus. The program is called the Nurse Excellence Program. Each semester, students are rewarded for their hours of service. Students who earn 20 or more hours of service earn the highest level or the platinum level award. I am always amazed by the generosity of our students who are working, who have families, and yet still find time to serve others. The student we are recognizing today has achieved the platinum level award all 6 semesters at the Concordia Nursing School program. This student has volunteered a total of 727 hours that we know of, doing medical mission work for the homeless population in Detroit. Through his volunteer work, he has offered many of our other students the opportunity to share in this mission. I honestly believe that service is in the very fiber of his being. I am proud to recognize a gentleman who has the very heart for service to others, Stanley Stinson.
The award I'm giving today is for a student who exemplifies integrity. Integrity is defined as soundness of moral character and adherence to ethical principles. In the Bible, the book of Proverbs mentions integrity. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. And if you are good, you're guided by honesty. From the biblical standpoint, integrity is associated with unfailing transparency. For Concordia Nursing, integrity means, as Kathleen said, doing the right thing even when it goes unnoticed. And that is an attribute of the very best nurses. And so we expect Concordia nurses to display aspects of integrity, to be heartfelt and honorable. Our Integrity Award goes to a student who is a leader without being a grandstander. And so this graduate goes about every day ready to hit the ground running. She has a genial mien, and you know you can trust her. She can be counted on to follow through, and always with a smile. It's been said about the student that she is unflappable. That's a pretty good thing to be able to say about an RN to be. To me, the most striking mark of this graduate's integrity is her alacrity, her cheerful willingness. She remembers the specifics about things that are important to whoever she's with, like asking about an upcoming visit from my sisters and giving her characteristic encouraging nod as I describe my dog's latest antics. No matter how trivial the conversation topic, you never get the feeling that she has somewhere else to go. Our Integrity Award is someone who strives to be herself at her very best all the time. She is a Concordia nurse. Susan Silla Key. Our award for excellence is going to be given by Anita Simmons.
The award I'm giving today is for a student who exemplifies excellence. Excellence is, again, another one of our program's cornerstone virtues, defined as the demonstration of actions and character that show merit or greatness that are above the expected level. The Excellence Award is for a nursing student who demonstrated advanced problem-solving skills in theory, clinical practicum courses, as well as a commitment to success in complex situations. The student we are recognizing today has demonstrated excellence through preparedness, hard work, and perseverance, academically and clinically. In compiling a list of this student's attributes, I spoke with my fellow colleagues who had nothing but high praise for this individual. Instructors describe this student as always prepared, never looking to take any shortcuts. In simulation, she wasn't afraid to question a perplexing or incomplete patient report, asking why and what if, in order to connect all the dots. Clinical instructors describe her using words like team player, flexible, cheerful, passionate, and dedicated regardless of the circumstances. Theory instructors call her a top student, a leader in her class, always submitting high-quality work, leading the way academically. This student experienced a few hurdles early in her academic career, including passing her first nursing skills class one-handed, literally, as she overcame a wrist injury. She expanded her family, had a baby while in the program. She always found her balance, pushed through, never let family changes, health problems, or job to be an excuse for completing schoolwork that was anything less than excellent. For these reasons and many more, it is my honor to present the Excellence Award to Ilona Rosina.
This is the Florence Nightingale Award. A quote from Florence Nightingale: "For the sick, it is important to have the best." Florence Nightingale is an iconic figure who is responsible for the philosophy and underpinnings of modern-day nursing. Prior to her, nursing was looked down upon as unimportant and as a low-status job. Through her efforts, though, nursing was reborn into the trusted profession that we know today. The name of Florence Nightingale is often associated with nursing excellence, compassion, service, and the ability to care for others no matter what the conditions. Florence Nightingale viewed nursing as her calling from God and gave her life and passion to the care of others. It is in her name that we give this award to a graduate who displays these same qualities. The award this year goes to a student that is highly accomplished in many aspects of nursing. They embody so many of the facets that make a great nurse. They are compassionate, they exude excellence, have a servant's heart, and maintain the highest level of integrity. In spite of numerous challenges and roadblocks that could have derailed their educational journey, they worked hard, they maintained focus, they always did their best without ever once complaining. Their work was always done reliably and with excellence, even with a heavy work schedule. This person excelled at thinking like a nurse. They were consistently able to manage and prioritize demanding patient situations, both in clinical and in simulation, using a very high level of nursing judgment and competence in their decisions. The nursing team felt strongly that this person clearly represented the ideals that Florence Nightingale held so dear. I proudly give this award to Hattie Thomas.
And they clearly coordinated outfits today. Well done, well done. So the first one to be pinned is Sarah Allen. Sarah is going to be pinned by both of her parents, Steve and Terry Allen. And she says, "Thank you for your constant love and support. And Dad, don't embarrass me." I guess that's a Next in line, Katelyn Betcha. Katelyn is being pinned by her mother, Mary, and there are no words strong enough to tell you how blessed and thankful I am for your love and support through this process. I don't know whether to call you Brendan or Biddle. Which would you prefer? All right, we'll say Brendan because it's official today. Next being pinned is Brendan Beerer. Brendan is going to be pinned by his father, Dave. Your hard work as a father has allowed me this opportunity. For that, I am forever grateful. Next is Megan Carr. Megan is going to be pinned by her mother, Michelle. And Megan says, "I would like to thank my parents for their constant support throughout nursing school." Next is Carolyn Carruthers. Carolyn's going to be pinned by her mother, Catherine. She worked as a nurse for 42 years, yay nurses, including service in the U.S. Navy Corps, all while being an amazing, loving mother. Beautiful. Catrina Cortes. She's going to be pinned by her fiance, Matthew Nugent. I want to thank you and my family for every part you have all had in getting me here today. Autumn Doss is being pinned by her aunt, Samantha Riffle. Thank you for always being a role model for me to look up to. I am so proud to be following in your footsteps. Next is Elif Ernst. Elif is going to be pinned by her husband and that adorable child. Her husband, Paul. Thank you for your love and support. I couldn't have done it without you. Erica Fafwa. She's being pinned by her mom and dad, Mark and Deb Fafwa. Thank you both for the support and encouragement throughout nursing school. Next is Mackenzie Gilmer. Mackenzie's being pinned by her grandma, as she put it on the card, Carrie. Through every hardship and every reward, you have always been the one by my side, and I cannot be more grateful for all that you have done for me. I love this part. I promise to never send you to a nursing home. Woo! Amen to that. Nicole Greeley is being pinned by her mother, Susan. I want to thank my family for their love, encouragement, and support through this tough and rewarding journey. Also, thank you, Mom, for always being my #1 fan. Cayla Gregoire. She's going to be pinned by her aunt, Karen Koss. Because of your guidance and devotion to being a nurse, I am here today. Thank you for your love and support. Dean, formerly known as Shapley, Grim. She's going to be pinned by her grandmother, Pam Cleveland. Thank you for all the love and support. Next is Megan Hardecki. Megan is being pinned by her mother, Raina. Thank you for making my dreams come true and always supporting me. I could not have come this far without you and Dad being there for me. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. This degree is for you. I love you. Rebecca Ivan Kovas. Rebecca's being pinned by her sister Haley. Thank you for continuously being there for me no matter what. That's what sisters are for. Taron Haynonen is being pinned by her mother Ann. Thank you for always listening to me, excuse me, supporting me and encouraging me. You're an amazing role model, and I strive to be the nurse you are. Aww. Megan Martin. She's being pinned by her mom, Elizabeth. It's no surprise that Megan wrote the most words on her card. It's not. I love it. Thank you for all the pep talks, support, and love through school. You have been one of my major rocks, and I couldn't have made it without you. You have shown me so much in how to live, and I can't thank you enough. I love you, Mom. Here's my Hanny, Hannah Rayburn. She's being pinned by her mother, Carolyn. I want to thank my parents for supporting me in everything. To my mom, I am striving to be like the nurse you are. I am unconditionally grateful for the love of my parents. Robert Bobby Reel is going to be pinned by his wife and sons, Megan, Lucas, and Liam. The best I've ever done, the best thing I will ever do is be a father and husband to you, Luke, Liam, and Megan. Next is Ilona Rosina. She's being pinned by her husband, Alvin. Thank you for encouragement and patience. I promise that the number of carryouts will reduce significantly. Kelcey Russell is being pinned by her husband and 2 little kiddos, Dave, Haley, and Ben. You guys are the biggest motivation and inspiration in this life. I am beyond blessed to have had you as my cheerleaders on this journey. I would not have done it without you. And I'm loving the hairdos. Jensen Schoen is being pinned by her grandmother, Sherry Buckles. Thank you for your support and encouragement throughout nursing school. I couldn't have done it without you. Next is Susan Silla Key, being pinned by her husband, Michael Thompson. I finally get to meet this guy. Thank you for the kick in the pants I needed to go to nursing school. Stanley Stinson. Stanley is being pinned by his supervisor and encourager, Nurse Sarah, and his outreach mentor, Nurse Jim. Stanley would like to say thank you to Sarah and Jim for their encouragement and support through nursing school and in life. Rachel Fleshman. Rachel's being pinned by her husband, Matt. Thank you for the constant love, support, and encouragement. I couldn't have done anything without you. Hattie, you're next, right? Okay. Next is Hattie Thomas. She's being pinned by her grandmother, Lois. My inspiration to be a nurse. Aw, she's in very good hands there. Next is Kimberly Thompson. Kimberly is being pinned by her mother and soon-to-be roommate, Terry Norris Thompson. That's what she wrote on the card. I got to read it. Thank you for all your love and support. I could not have done this without you. Next is Thomas Thompson, and he's getting pinned by his professor, Kathleen Sheehan. Astu Traore. Astu is being pinned by her husband, Uzman, and her lovely daughter, I see Mba, yeah? Honey, thank you for being my husband, my mom, my dad, my best friend and counselor throughout the nursing program. I love you. You're the best. Kelcey Wenzel, being pinned by her fiance, Sam. Thank you for proofreading, listening to checkoffs, and standing by my side through this whole thing. You will always be my favorite patient. Shalyn Williams. Shalyn's being pinned by her daughter, Peyton Smith. Thank you, honey girl, for being my motivation and so supportive during this journey. I love you more than you know, my sweet pea. Let's have a big round of applause for our graduates. Next, I'm going to invite Reverend Randy Duncan to close the show.
I see a lot of tears. It's good. This is a great day. This is the day the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. I am thrilled to see all of you here. Delta class is a very special class, and you will be deeply, deeply missed here. To give some closing remarks, the School of Nursing thought hard about who to give some closing remarks. And so, they wanted a really special speaker. Probably, they were looking for the best preacher they could find. And he said no. And then they moved on to the smartest, and he said no. Finally, they settled on, well, let's go for the best looking. And he said no. So they said, well, we always have our campus pastor, Randy Duncan. And so they asked me, and since I said no 3 times already, I thought I'd give it a shot. It is wonderful to be here with you. For so many of you, I had you in my theology classes, along with, we have some theology profs that are here too, and you can tell the ones that were in my theology class by the bent halos that they wear, that they are so loved. There is something beautiful about having the pinning and commencement at this time of the year. It reminds us of something that the Word of God says in Matthew chapter 1, verse 23, the virgin will be with child and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. Delta class, God's with you. Loved ones of Delta class, God has been with you, and He's worked through you. And this is a season where we are reminded of these important words that Christmas is condensed to 4 words. God is with us. And if God is with us, and as the scripture said, as God is for us, who can be against us? And you, Delta class, are proof that God is for you. He's seen you through these times. He's seen you through the pain. He's seen you through the tears, and He is with you, and He will go with you into your occupation, and He'll be by your side as you are a vessel for healing. For healing only comes from God, and He will use you, and He will dry your tears as you're crying, as your heart is going out to those that you are ministering to. I want you to know that you will never, ever be alone. You're not alone now, and you never will be. Why? Because what we believe here is that Jesus, God, stepped out of eternity into time, and he was born in a barn. He was born into our mess. He knows the struggles. And Delta class, you're going to see some struggles, and you're going to see some mess, and you're going to be a vessel for God's love and his peace in that room with that patient. It's a season where, as we sing that Christmas hymn, O Little Town of Bethlehem, where the hopes and fears of all the years are met in Jesus. Delta class, you probably have some hopes. Hope to get that job. Hope to pass a few things that are left untested yet. But you probably have some fears, too, about those very same things. Fear doesn't deserve your obedience. Keep going. Keep pressing forward. God has seen you through this far. He's not going to chump you at this point. He's going to see you through. And then for all of us here, everyone in this room, I want to remind you of this, that Emmanuel, God is with us. God is near. God does hold the answer and can meet all of our needs as we trust in him. And so Delta class and everyone else in this room, next time you feel helpless, next time you feel alone, just whisper, Emmanuel. And Emmanuel is there with you. Emmanuel has come. And Emmanuel will go with you as you depart from this place. And so for all this holiday season, as we are perhaps feeling some even depression in the middle of the celebration, Emmanuel speaks peace to you. For those of you that are in need of some healing in your life, whether it's physical or emotional, or the people that you're going to be ministering to after you graduate from here in your profession, Emmanuel heals you and he heals through you. For those who are crippled with fear right now, that it's actually scary to be graduating because it's the next step, it's the unknown, Emmanuel fights for you. For those who are struggling with relationally and feel betrayed, Emmanuel knows how you feel. For those who are crippled with guilt and struggle with what has happened in their life, Emmanuel forgives you. For those of you that are crushed by your past, Emmanuel gives you a future and a hope. And for those of you that might have a feeling of being unwanted, Emmanuel thought you were worth dying for. And so I want to leave you with this promise. It's from Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. It says this, and Delta class and all the loved ones, faculty, all of us, hold on to this truth, where God says, do not be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. Yes, I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. Hold on to these promises and receive this blessing. Delta class, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord look upon you with his favor and give you his peace. And all God's people said, amen. Let's give the Lord a praise offering for what he's done. We're going to have the opportunity to gather together. There's a reception in the recital hall in the Kreft building, the one right to the right of here, following the spinning ceremony, which is closing now. God bless you all. May you have traveling mercies as you leave from here, and may you all have a very happy and blessed Christmas.